The drama begins in a room where the female lead, Seungmian, is asleep in a boy's arms. When she looks at the boy, it is the male lead, Foo-yeon. Foo-yeon's grandpa makes Foo-yeon the CEO of the company. Seungmian knows Foo-yeon's grandpa, so she had helped a lot in making Foo-yeon the CEO. Grandpa tells Seungmian, "I will get my grandson married to you. You have helped me a lot, and at my behest, my company will invest 300 million in your father's company." Seungmian tells her dad, "I don't want to get married." So her father says, "I am doing all this for you so that you can live a better life. I couldn't give your mom a better life." Seeing her dad sad, Seungmian changes her decision and says, "I am ready to get married." Grandpa gets them registered for marriage and gives Seungmian a certificate, telling her Foo-yeon was very busy so he couldn't come. Actually, Foo-yeon marries on his grandpa's insistence, so he doesn't even see Seungmian. It has been 3 years since their marriage. Now, sitting on the bed, Seungmin was thinking just this. In these 3 years, we haven't even seen each other. And today, when we are meeting for the first time, it is in this state. Actually, last night at the party, Seungmian's stepmother had also come, and she tells Seungmian, finally, after 3 years, Foo-yeon has returned from abroad. Now, you have to live well with him so that your father's business can be helped. And saying this, she hands her a glass of wine. When Seungmian thinks about this, she understands that something was mixed in the wine. She wants to leave from there as soon as possible so that Foo-yeon does not see her. But by then, Foo-yeon also wakes up and asks Seungmian, "How much money do you want?" Actually, he doesn't know that she is his wife, Seungmian. He throws his credit card towards her and says, "Take as much money as you want from this. Anyway, you don't deserve more than this." Seungmian says, "No matter how rich you become, I don't want your money. Besides, last night, we both got what we wanted." Just then, Foo-yeon gets a call from his mother. She tells him, "You have come back after 3 years, so now you should divorce Seungmian." He says, "Don't worry, Mom. I know Seungmian's dad sold her for money." Hearing this from Foo-yeon's mouth, Seungmin understands that he doesn't know she is his wife. She decides that she will not tell him that she is his wife, but before leaving, she will definitely insult him. Seungmin shows him a penny and says, "You don't even deserve this, but I am giving it to you." Saying this, she leaves from there. Foo-yeon gets extremely angry. Seungmin comes to the hospital and asks her stepmother, "Did you mix something in the wine?" Instead of answering, she asks her back, "Was your husband satisfied with you?" To which Seungmin says, "I am not going to take Foo-yeon's money. Your eyes are on the money. I am not greedy like you." She starts to slap her in anger. Seungmin grabs her hand and says, "I am going to divorce him very soon, so it's better you stay out of my affairs." Her mom emotionally blackmails her and mentions her daughter's name. "If she were a little healthy, I would never have let you marry such a young and rich person. If you don't take help from Foo-yeon, how will your father's business run? How will our daughter get treated?" Just then, their daughter also arrives there. Seungmin asked her about her health. She says, "The doctor said that I will get well soon." Seungmin tells her to rest. Seungmin gets a call from Foo-yeon's mother, and she asks her to come home so that this matter can be concluded as soon as possible, and she speaks very rudely. Foo-yeon tells his assistant, "This villa is very dear to me, so arrange for a good designer for it." His assistant says okay and asks him a question. "Are you really going to divorce Seungmin? In my opinion, you should meet her once before giving the divorce. Maybe you will fall in love." Foo-yeon replies, "I know why she married me. She just wanted an investment for her dad." On the other side, Seungmin had reached his mom's place, who taunts her a lot and says, "Grandpa is a very simple man. We got you married to Foo-yeon on his saying. You know that he has become the CEO now. You are not suitable for him, so we need a girl of his level." Seungmin says, "Don't you worry. I know my place and what I have to do." The maid announces Foo-yeon's arrival. Mom stands up happily to welcome him. Then, his assistant comes there and gives Mom a file, saying, "These are the divorce papers. Please get them signed." So, she throws the file in front of Seungmin with an air of authority and tells her to sign. Seungmin signs it without a second thought and then comes straight to her office from there. She is a top interior designer. Everyone calls Seungmin Penny because Penny is her nickname. When she arrives, her partner tells her, "The loan I took by mortgaging the studio, all that money is lost. And if the installation payment is not made, the bank will seize the studio and sell it in an auction." Hearing this, Penny gets very angry. Then her partner makes her sit and says, "We have one way. The CEO of Foo Group of Companies has bought a villa. He bought it for his first girlfriend. If we get the contract to design their villa, we can get a very large amount." Seungmin sees no other way, so she says yes. Foo-yeon gets a call from his cousin. "Come to my bar, I have a present for you." So as soon as he reaches the bar, he sees 2 call girls. He goes to a private room and calls his cousin. "Did you call me here for girls?" He says, "No, your present must be about to arrive." Just then, Seungmin arrives there and, losing her balance, falls on Foo-yeon, and her lipstick mark gets on Foo-yeon's shirt. So she says sorry and starts cleaning it, but Fu Yan refuses. Then he asks her, "Did Liang send you here?" She says yes. Then he asks, "How much money did he offer?" She says, "A 7-figure amount." Here, a misunderstanding is created between these two. Sheng Mian came here to talk about her project and says, "Is your job very long? And are you also very demanding? But I will satisfy you." Due to the misunderstanding, all her words sound vulgar to Fu Yan and he starts to leave. Then Sheng Mian confuses him more with her words, telling him, "I can even do it in your favorite style." Then, to show him the design, she takes her mobile out of her pocket, but Fu Yan thinks she is about to take off her clothes. So he stops her and asks, "For how many years have you been working?" She says, "It's been 3 years since I started working." So he asks, "Is Liang also your client?" She says, "Yes, in a way." Fu Yan gets angry at her and leaves from there. She is surprised, wondering what happened to him. Then she gets a call from Liang, and she tells him the whole situation. He has rejected my proposal, so he says, "You don't need to worry. Tomorrow there is a party at Fu Yan's place for designers, so you can try your luck there." Sheng Mian goes to the party. There, she finds one of her clients drunk. To help him, she takes him in the elevator. Fu Yan is also there. The client, in his drunken state, says to his girlfriend, "You don't care about me. You only care about money?" Here too, a misunderstanding occurs. Fu Yan asks, "Is he also your client?" She says, "He is also my client." And then she starts talking about her work again. Fu Yan gets very frustrated and tells her, "You should be ashamed to talk about these things in public," and leaves from there, and Sheng Mian stands there surprised. Sheng Mian comes to the parking lot and places her project proposal file on Fu Yan's car. At night, when Fu Yan comes, he says, "What is this?" His assistant says, "Sorry, I'll throw it away." But Fu Yan starts looking at it and likes the design a lot. He tells his assistant, "Find out about this." Sheng Mian comes home to her stepmother telling her father, tells Sheng Mian not to divorce Fu Yan. This way, our business will collapse. So the father says, "She is grown up. She can make her own decisions." Fu Yan is on his way to the office when his assistant tells him the lawyer called and said that Sheng Mian has asked for rethinking the divorce. So he says, "They only care about my money. This is the first and the last time I will invest. After that, Sheng Mian will have to divorce me." In the next scene, Fu Yan plays tennis with his family friend, Xiao. When they finish playing, they start talking. In the course of their conversation, Xiao tells him about his proposal. "If you give me your villa to decorate, our company will be in the top 10, and we are family friends too." Just then, Sheng Mian arrives there, who is in a tennis kit. So Xiao asks her, "Penny, what are you doing here today?" She explains, "I have come here to play." Fu Yan asks, "Xiao, you know her too?" He says, "Yes, she has made quite a name for herself in her industry." Sheng Mian asks Fu Yan to play a match with her, but he does not agree to play with her and starts to leave. So she says, "You are not playing because you are afraid of losing." His ego gets hurt, and he gets ready to play with her. The match starts, and both play with passion. Just then, Xiao gets a message that Sheng Mian's studio is about to be sold. He then understands, so that's why Penny is after this project with all her might. Then their match ends in a draw, so Fu Yan leaves from there, but Xiao stops Sheng Mian. He likes her a lot. He looks at her with bad intentions and tells her, "I have found out that your studio is going to be sold and you need money. I can help you. If you need help, come at 7 p.m. When Sheng Mian reaches Xiao's house, he tells her, "Fu Yan was about to sign a contract with me." Then he places drink glasses in front of her and tells her, "If you drink all of these, I will get you that contract from Fu Yan." Sheng Mian, due to her helplessness, starts drinking. When she gets very drunk, Xiao comes close to her and starts to misbehave, starts forcing himself on her. So she tells him, "Fu Yan is my husband. If he finds out, he won't spare you." He says, "You are lying. If he were your husband, you wouldn't have come to me to get this project." So she tells him, "We had a small fight," and slapping him across the face, she leaves. When she goes outside, Fu Yan is coming from the front. She hugs him and says, "I need your help." Xiao comes there and says, "She was very drunk." So Fu Yan tells him, "I know what happened here." And picking up Sheng Mian, he takes her to his home. Fu Yan goes to get water for her, but she grabs his hand and makes him sit next to her, resting her head on his shoulder. Fu Yan also feels good. He comes close to her and starts to kiss her. But when the misunderstanding comes to his mind that she takes the service of a prostitute, he leaves her right there and goes upstairs. He had started to like Sheng Mian. Just then, his assistant gives him a card. It's the card of the same designer whose file was in the car. So Fu Yan makes a call. The call comes to Sheng Mian. In her drunken state, she speaks loudly, saying, "Why do you behave so rudely with me?" Hearing that voice, Fu Yan comes downstairs, and when he comes near Sheng Mian, he realizes that Penny is that designer. Then he thinks, that day Sheng Mian was talking about the project. Then his misunderstanding clears up here, and he picks her up and takes her to the bedroom. As soon as she wakes up in the morning, Sheng Mian comes after Fu Yan. He is standing there having a meeting. All the employees are surprised, wondering who this girl is. Just then, she hides behind Fu Yan, and he ends the meeting. Then she says, sorry. So Fu Yan gently places his hand on her head. Sheng Mian says, I don't remember anything from last night. If I disturbed you too much, I'm sorry. Fu Yan gives her the project file and says, you wanted to take this project, right? And he gives her the file. She happily starts hugging him. When they are both having breakfast, he gets a call from Grandpa, who scolds him. You are divorcing Sheng Mian without telling me? Hearing this, Fu Yan hangs up the call. Sitting right there, he messages his wife, we have to go meet Grandpa tomorrow. The message is received by Sheng Mian, who is sitting there, but she doesn't show it and sends an okay message. In the next scene, Sheng Mian cancels the program to go with Fu Yan. He goes to meet Grandpa alone. Grandpa asks him about Sheng Mian, to which he answers rudely, which makes Grandpa start to hit him. Sheng Mian comes alone to meet Grandpa and apologizes to him, saying, yesterday, I couldn't come with Fu Yan due to some family issues. Then she asks Grandpa, why does Fu Yan smile so little? Grandpa says, his life has been very unlucky. His parents were busy and couldn't give him time, which is why he was alone all the time. Then, taking out his cell phone, he sends a voice note to Fu Yan, saying, Sheng Mian has come to meet me, and now quickly give me a baby. When Fu Yan receives the voice note, he cancels all meetings and leaves for Grandpa's house. Sheng Mian makes an excuse to Grandpa and leaves the house. But as she leaves the house, Fu Yan comes from the front. Surprised, he asks her, what are you doing here? She says, I came here to discuss some design matters with you. Just then, Grandpa comes out and calls out. At this, Sheng Mian quickly pushes Fu Yan into the car and lies down. They are lying very close. Fu Yan tells her, if you have any issue, you can contact me. The next day, Sheng Mian goes for a meeting. After introducing herself, she shows her designs. Just then, Xiao starts speaking. Why do all your designs match our designs? Sheng Mian asks him, what inspires your designer? Xiao also says, our designer was inspired by a famous garden to create this. Sheng Mian starts showing her designs on the screen. Mr. Fu Yan likes leaves a lot. All my designs are grounded. Why would I copy your design? My design also has my signature move. The designs Mr. Xiao has do not match my designs. Xiao tells her, where is your original draft? She becomes quiet. One day while working, water spilled on her laptop. Just then, Fu Yan's assistant gives him a file, which is Sheng Mian's design file. He comes in front of everyone and shows that file. I myself read Sheng Mian's design file first. He saves Sheng Mian. Xiao was exposed, so he tells Sheng Mian, you must have seduced Fu Yan for this project. She slaps him. Xiao starts to slap her back, but Fu Yan grabs his hand and pushes him back and puts his hand on Penny's shoulder. Seeing this, Xiao angrily says, you are breaking our friendship because of this girl. Fu Yan says, I regret that I was friends with a person like you. From today onwards, our company will not do any work with you. Fu Yan gives that project to Sheng Mian. Xiao is very angry. He calls his sister, who lives abroad, and tells her, you come back, or else Fu Yan will slip out of your hands. He knows he has lost this project. She tells him, you should have worked fairly. Why are you tarnishing our family's name? So, he doesn't tell her the truth either, and says, I prepared the proposal fairly. Hearing his words, she agrees and says she will return to China soon. Fu Yan had called Sheng Mian home to sign the contract. She comes to his house and signs the contract file. As soon as he sees the signature, he understands that she is Sheng Mian. He immediately grabs her by the neck and says, you married me for 3 million? Now you are deceiving me by becoming a designer? I want a divorce from you. Tell me everything or I will kill you right here. Actually, this was Penny's imagination. She was thinking all this. Then, she starts to leave without signing the contract. Fu Yan says, at least sign it before you go. Sheng Mian thinks for a moment and remembers that when she was close to Fu Yan in the car, he became very shy. She does the same thing now. In a romantic manner, she pulls Fu Yan close by his tie. Fu Yan starts to get shy again. Then she puts her finger on her lips and places her fingerprint on the signature spot. Handing him the file, she leaves from there. Just then, Fu Yan's assistant comes and tells him, Penny's birthday is in 2 weeks. You should give her a gift. Fu Yan tells Penny, a very good friend of mine has her birthday. I have to give her a gift, so you help me. She asks him, tell me a little about her. He says, she is very beautiful, a top designer. Just then, Penny sees a necklace that is quite nice and famous. She selects it. Fu Yan picks it up and puts it on her neck, telling her, it looks very good on you. Then he comes closer to her to adjust the necklace, and Penny also feels love for him in her heart. Fu Yan is about to kiss her when Qing arrives. Fu Yan is shocked to see her. Qing hugs him. Fuyan tells her, "You should have informed me before coming. I would have sent the assistant to pick you up." Then she meets Penny too. She tells her, "My name is Penny. I am a designer." Ching throws a party for both of them. Fuyan invites Penny as well. Penny goes to the party. Just then, her mom also arrives. Seeing her mom, she hides behind Fuyan. Mom was coming towards them, but then she meets a friend and goes the other way. Ching feels quite jealous seeing them so close. Then she deliberately spills wine on Penny. Seeing this, Penny gets very worried. So Ching takes her to the changing room and gives her a dress. When she goes to change her dress, Ching starts talking to her, saying, "I want to share something with you." Ching tells her, 3 years ago, Fuyan broke a promise to me, which is why I went abroad. Now he is divorcing his wife. He has asked me for a second chance. She places the necklace on the table, the one Fuyan was having Penny try on that day, and tells her, "My friend gave this to me as a gift." Seeing this, Penny feels very bad that Fuyan betrayed her. They both come out. Fuyan comes to them. Ching forcefully grabs his hand and takes him to the stage, introducing him to everyone. Then she tells Penny, "Please, can you hand me the camera?" As she's about to give the camera, the straps of her dress come undone. Actually, Ching had cut the straps while putting them on. Penny starts to feel ashamed in front of everyone. Just then, Fuyan takes off his coat and puts it on her. He takes her outside. Penny behaves rudely with him. He asks her, "What happened to you?" She tells him, "Now that you have started loving someone else, please don't come close to me. Otherwise, I will get confused again. I'm just your partner, nothing more." Fuyan starts to tell her what's in his heart, but he is called back to the party and Penny leaves from there. The next day, this whole matter reaches Grandpa. He calls Fuyan and scolds him a lot, saying, "You have hired a girl named Penny? Yesterday, you hugged her in front of everyone. Why are you ruining your family's reputation? Shengmian is also a good interior designer. You should work with her." Fuyan gets angry and says, "She only cares about my money." At this, Grandpa angrily picks up a cup from the table and throws it down, a piece of which cuts Fuyan's cheek. Just then, Grandpa's health starts to deteriorate. Fuyan holds him and makes him sit down, consoling him. He gets angry at Shengmian, thinking she must have made this complaint. Penny comes to Fuyan's office. Seeing him, he turns his face away so she can't see the cut mark. Penny places a file on his table and tells him, "Your assistant told me everything, that you didn't expose me in front of Grandpa, which is why you got hurt on your face." Fuyan says, "I am perfectly fine." Then Penny applies medicine to his face. He tells her, "When you are with me, I feel relaxed." Just then, the assistant comes, and Penny gets up and leaves. Fuyan asks his assistant a question. "If a girl gets angry at you for no reason, what does that mean?" The assistant understands that he is talking about Penny. The assistant says, "Does the girl get angry because he has another female friend besides her?" Fuyan says yes. The assistant says, "Then it's certain that the girl is jealous of him. There is only one way to confirm this. You have to get close to the other girl in front of her." After getting the answer he wanted, Fuyan shows him some attitude and says, "I don't do such childish things." Fuyan takes Ching to the villa and gives her the designs to look at, while he himself stands there waiting for Penny. As Penny arrives, he deliberately gets closer to Ching. Seeing this, Penny gets sad and leaves. When Fuyan sees this, he goes after her. Fuyan asks, "Why are you avoiding me?" Penny says, "I am just doing my job." Fuyan says, "I know you are jealous of my relationship with Ching." She says, "Who am I to be jealous?" Fuyan, placing his hand on her hair, says, "You don't need to be jealous." At his action, Penny starts to feel shy. Seeing this, Ching gets jealous. Penny returns to her work, but she can't find her handbag. As she starts looking for her handbag, she sees it lying a little far away. As she's about to pick it up, a stepladder falls on her hand. Her hand gets injured and she falls down. Fuyan also hears her voice. As they go to see, Ching stops him because Ching had done all this. She tells him, "Nothing happened. My ankle got twisted." And she forcefully takes him away from there. Penny comes to the hospital. The doctor tells her, "The nerve system in your hand is damaged. We can try to repair it, but we don't have an expert for this job in our hospital." Hearing this, she starts to cry. Just then, a nurse says, "The expert doctor has arrived." As Penny looks, Fuyan comes with the doctor and says, "Perform the surgery immediately." Penny's surgery is successful, and the doctors advise her to stay in the hospital for a few days. Ching also arrives. As she's about to enter the room, Fuyan is sitting with Penny. Penny says, "You should be with Ching." He understands her words and says, "What do you think that I like Ching?" Penny, with annoyance, says, "I don't care who you like and who you don't." He says, "You should know that Ching and I are just friends." Then, just as he is about to say, "I love you" to her, Ching comes inside, and he stops right there. Ching deliberately acts nice and tells her, "You have to be careful." But Penny understands the whole thing, that Ching is doing all this to her. Fu Yan gets Penny's discharge from the doctor and tells her, "You have to rest for 1 month. For that, you come to my house because you got injured while working for me. So technically, I have to take care of you." Fu Yan touches her hair, and Penny understands his gesture and agrees to go with him. He brings her home. Fu Yan takes great care of her, makes soup and feeds it to her himself, and wipes the soup from Penny's lips with his own hand. At night, Penny is sleeping in her room. He comes to her and gently straightens her hand and lies down there. When Penny's eyes open, she sees him. Fu Yan kisses her, and feeling shy, she goes outside. Fu Yan thinks, will she be able to understand the signs of my love or not? Penny thanks Fu Yan for taking such good care of her. After 1 month, when she has fully recovered, she is about to leave from there. The assistant tells her, Fu Yan has gone on a business trip. It's better if you leave when he comes back. She tells him, when Fu Yan comes back, I will tell him myself. And she leaves from there. Grandpa calls Penny and complains that she doesn't come to meet him. Penny promises to meet him and also says she will stay for 1 night. When she goes to their house to meet them, she hears Fu Yan's voice. When Grandpa and Fu Yan come there, Penny is wearing a hat on her head and a mask on her face. Grandpa asks them, what happened to you? She tells them, I have an allergy, so I can't remove the mask. When Fu Yan sees her, he gets angry. He had never seen Sheng Mian, but Grandpa doesn't know this. As Fu Yan is about to remove the mask from her face to see her, Grandpa stops him. Her health is already not good. Let her go and rest. Penny leaves from there. Grandpa and Fu Yan go for a drink. Penny is sitting in her room and thinking, how can I save myself from Fu Yan? Just then, she hears Grandpa's voice. He says, Fu Yan is very drunk. Come and take him. Fu Yan comes into the room. Penny turns her face to the other side, but Fu Yan grabs her and pulls her close. She thinks she is exposed. Just then, she tells him, I'll explain. But he falls unconscious on the bed. Looking at him, Penny thinks, when you find out that I am Sheng Mian, will you be able to forgive me for my lie? The next day, Penny is about to leave early in the morning when Mom sees her and tells her, you are such a shameless girl. You should have divorced him by now. Just then, Fu Yan comes, and Penny leaves from there. He starts to go after her, but Mom stops him. Fu Yan comes back to the room and picks up the marriage certificate to see Sheng Mian, but just then, he gets a call from his assistant, who tells him, the investment they made with Sheng Mian's father has resulted in a huge loss. The material they sent was also fake, due to which a case has been filed against them. Hearing this, Fu Yan gets very angry. He thinks, on one hand, Sheng Mian is after me, and on the other hand, her dad is not leaving me alone. He tells the assistant, take back all the investment, and in anger, he throws the marriage certificate without looking at it. Penny gets a message from Fu Yan's side. You and your family stop looting me and send me the divorce papers as soon as possible. So she sends him an okay message. Just then, Penny's mother comes there and taunts her a lot, saying, I have never seen a useless girl like you in my life. Because of you, our business is suffering a loss. You don't care at all. You are divorcing Fu Yan. Just then, Penny retorts, I have not taken the responsibility for your business. I will not let you benefit from my marriage. Whoever wants to do something should do it for themselves. And she leaves from there. Grandpa has found out about everything. He calls Penny and tells them, why do you want to get a divorce? Are you perhaps missing your college ex-boyfriend? She says, I am not even in contact with him. She says, Fu Yan hates me. Grandpa forbids her from getting a divorce and leaves from there. Fu Yan texts her, today, you and I will have dinner together. Penny doesn't reply, which makes him angry, and he comes to her office and asks the reception about her. They tell him, she is not feeling well today, she didn't come. Fu Yan goes to the office and stands there for a while, in case she is hiding somewhere, but he doesn't see her, so he leaves. Just then, Penny comes out and goes home at night. She sees Fu Yan there. He asks her, why are you ignoring me? She says, it's nothing like that. Fu Yan says, do you even know what I feel for you? Penny says, you are just a client to me, nothing more. Fu Yan says, you don't want me to be more than a client? She doesn't answer this question because she's very worried about the divorce matter, that Fu Yan's heart might not be broken. Fu Yan shows her the same necklace that she liked a lot and tells her, I bought this for you. She says that it is very expensive and she can't take it. Fu Yan pretends to throw the necklace in front of her but doesn't throw it. Then he kisses her, and while kissing, brings her into the room. They both are about to get very close when Penny stops him and says, I am married. I also have a husband. Fu Yan gets very angry. He asks who her husband is. She doesn't tell him and starts talking on the phone in front of him, pretending that she is talking to her husband. But Fu Yan gets suspicious hearing her words. He asks, is your husband Liang? She doesn't understand anything and says, yes, and from today onwards, we will not meet. She returns the necklace to him. Fu Yan leaves from there with a broken heart. The next day, Liang calls Penny and asks her for the contract file. Then he tells her, I am standing outside Fu Yan's house right now. Hearing this, Penny is shocked and tells him, you stay right there, I am coming. Fu Yan and Liang were drinking, so Fu Yan asks Liang personal questions about Penny and him, from which he comes to know that they don't have a relationship. They are just pretending. Just then, Penny also arrives there. Avoiding his gaze, she tells Liang, "Pretend in front of him that we are husband and wife." But Fu Yan gets suspicious that they are both lying. Then Fu Yan has bought a new hotel, so he invites both of them to its opening ceremony and leaves from there. The next day, they both go there, and seeing Fu Yan, Penny deliberately clings to Liang and stands there. And deliberately, she pushes Liang into the pool and gets into the pool herself and tells him, "Hold me close." Fu Yan sees this. Then, Liang takes his juice and comes towards the pool again, but the guards stop him. Penny is waiting there, so Fu Yan comes into the pool and kisses her. He does this for a long time. Then Penny comes to the changing room, and he follows her there too. When Penny is about to leave from there as well, he grabs her and pins her against the wall and asks, "What's so good about Liang that I don't have? I am much better than him." Then he forcefully starts kissing her. Penny slaps him across the face and leaves from there. Fu Yan is upset. His assistant asks him, "What happened?" He tells his assistant, "A friend of mine likes a girl, but the girl doesn't respond to him and wants to stay with her husband." He suggests he should call the girl for work and spend more and more time with her. Fu Yan likes the idea. He calls Penny home. Fu Yan talks to her very politely and tells her, "I have called you to discuss some interior designs. Your husband won't mind, will he?" Then he starts telling her about the design. "I want my living room in an Asian Egyptian style. The furniture in it should be all wood. All its corners should be in a circle shape. Make all the rooms of the villa in a majestic way." Penny understands that he is asking her to redesign the entire villa. She sits up all night and prepares the documents. He gives her a lot of work. She works 24 hours. Fu Yan comes to her and gets close to her, and she feels very shy. When Fu Yan comes back after freshening up, she has fallen asleep sitting in her seat. He picks her up and takes her to his room. The next day, Mom comes early in the morning. The maids try to stop them, but they don't stop and call out loudly. Hearing their voice, Penny wakes up, and Fu Yan, who had fallen asleep sitting in the chair opposite, she forcefully grabs him and makes him lie on the bed and sleeps clinging to him. When Mom sees them lying in a vulgar manner, she leaves from there. After Mom leaves, Fu Yan makes her lie down with him and says, "When you have feelings for me in your heart, then why are you running away from me?" Penny pushes him away and leaves from there. Fu Yan comes to Penny's office. Seeing him come, she sits in Liang's lap. When Fu Yan comes inside, seeing him, Liang leaves from there. He asks Penny, "Why are you feeling so guilty?" He grabs her and forcefully kisses her and says, "I will wait for your divorce." Penny refuses him. They both come out of the office. Fu Yan is trying to pacify her. Qing sees this and feels jealous. Liang tells Penny that they have been trapped because Qing had called Liang for a contract, and after making him drink a lot, made him sign a contract. When Liang shows this contract to Penny, she is shocked because they will have to pay a very large amount. Qing had actually come to Penny first, but she rejected it, so she trapped Liang. She was doing all this for Fu Yan. Liang gives her an idea. "You talk to Mr. Fu Yan. He will hire a good lawyer." Penny calls Fu Yan and tells him the whole matter. He is ready to meet her. When he leaves the house, he sees Liang with a girl. He thinks that he is cheating on Penny. Just then, he tells the assistant to follow them. Fu Yan comes to the office to meet Penny. He says, "I will help you on one condition, if you go on a date with me." Under compulsion, she agrees. He takes her to an open restaurant. Liang is sitting at the next table with his girlfriend. Seeing this, Penny is shocked because he had said that he had gone out of town. Fu Yan says, "You lied to your wife that you were out of town." Hearing the word wife, his girlfriend gets angry at him. To handle the situation, Penny tells her, "Yes, we are married. I will tell you the rest of the matter later." Just then, Fu Yan says, "No, Liang should tell the whole situation right here." Penny says, "This is a family matter." Fu Yan tells Liang to choose one of them. Under compulsion, he has to choose Penny. So his girlfriend slaps him and leaves from there. He also goes after her. Just then, Penny tells him, "You are crossing your limits. You shouldn't get involved in these matters. Today, I have come on a date with you, so you also have to keep your promise." While they are both talking, Penny's sister arrives. When she sees Fu Yan, she realizes that the boy she likes is Penny's husband. She gets very angry. Just then, Fu Yan's assistant comes and tells him about his meeting. After completing the meeting, he tells the assistant, "Call everyone who has terminated their contract with Penny to the party and buy a dress for Penny." When Penny comes to the party wearing that dress, Fu Yan keeps looking at her. Then he goes to her and tells them, "This simple dress looks very good on you." And holding her hand, he brings her in front of everyone and, introducing her to everyone, says, "She is the interior designer who is decorating my villa." Hearing this, everyone is surprised. The people who had terminated their contract with Penny are now ready to work with her. When she gets the clients, she thanks Fu Yan. Fu Yan touching her hair, says, I can do anything for you. Mom and Ching had also come to the party. When Penny sees them, she hides her face. Then she dances with Fu Yan. Both of them enjoy the dance a lot. Just then, Mom asks, who is this girl with my Fu? Ching says, we can't see properly from here. Let's go closer and see. Then she asks a waiter, where is the girl who was dancing here? He says, she has gone to the restroom. But when they get there, it's some other girl. But Ching plays another trick. She had hired a waiter to first make Penny drink a lot, and then a boy from the hotel would have sex with her. By showing all this to Mom, she would ruin Penny's character in her eyes. In the next scene, that girl instigates some people, saying, a girl is in a room with my boyfriend. When they get there, it is none other than Ching. The girl is shocked. Everyone starts making videos. Ching tells them, all of you, please leave from here. Just then, Mom comes there and scolding her says, I didn't expect this from you. Just then, Ching's eyes fall on a coat. She picks it up and gives it to Mom, saying, look at this. This is Fu Yan's coat. Ching explains, actually, Fu Yan was very drunk and I came to help him, and he did this to me. For the sake of your honor, I didn't tell this in front of people. Just then, Mom is happy and says, now you will be my daughter-in-law. First of all, you have to help me kick Sheng Mian out of the house. Ching calls the same waiter and tells him, you tell everyone that Fu Yan had sex with me. Actually, Ching gets very drunk, and a waiter helps her. He has Fu Yan's coat in his hand, so Ching thinks he is Fu Yan. Just then, the waiter remembers that the boss had said that when you find a drunk girl, you have to create a scene with her. So he asks her, are you Penny? She says yes, upon which he takes her to the room. On the other side, Penny gets very drunk. So Fu Yan picks her up and takes her home and puts her in his bedroom. After laying her down, he kisses her on the forehead and is about to leave, but she grabs his hand and starts to romance him. She is drunk, so while speaking the truth, she tells him, you are my honey. She rests her head in Fu Yan's lap. He thinks, finally, you have accepted my love. Just then, Fu Yan gets a call from Mom, and she asks him to come home. When he goes home, Mom asks him, did any girl try to take advantage of you at the hotel? Just then he says, she's not just any girl, and I love her very much. Hearing this, Mom is happy that he was with Ching. Mom says, finally, you have started loving someone, so I will not interfere in your matter. Now that you have had sex with that girl, you should divorce Sheng Mian and solve this matter. Ching is also listening to those words. She gets very angry at Penny because Fu Yan had spent the whole night with Penny. On the other side, when Penny's eyes open, she is in Fu Yan's room. She is about to leave, but Fu Yan stops her and says, will you divorce your husband? She changes the topic and says, I will design your villa well, and she leaves. Penny was waiting for a cab when Fu Yan comes there and tells her, come in my car, I will drop you. When they are sitting in the car, he gives her a file and says, I am helping my wife. So she tells him, I was very drunk last night, so don't take my words seriously. Just then, the assistant sees them in the rearview mirror, and their car hits a pole, and they have an accident. When Penny regains consciousness, she asks the nurse about Fu Yan. She tells her that he was quite serious, so he has been admitted to the emergency. Just then, a dead body is taken out from there. Penny thinks it is Fu Yan, so she cries and says, please come back. I will do whatever you say. Just then, she hears Fu Yan's voice. She turns and looks, and he tells her, is this true? Penny hugs him. Then they both come home. Penny gives him milk. They both talk a lot. Fu Yan tells her, divorce your husband. It's not easy for you, but as long as you are with me, I don't need anything else in the world. Just then, he gets a call from his assistant who tells him, I got hurt quite a bit, and I will be on leave for 2 weeks. So Penny gets ready to work as an assistant. Fu Yan explains the work to her and says, every year we launch a new project, and our assistant was in charge of it. Then he kisses her. Penny comes to the doctor for her checkup. The doctor tells her, you are 7 weeks pregnant. Penny is very happy to see the report. Just then, her sister comes to the same hospital and sees her coming out of the gynecologist's room. She goes to the doctor and asks her, the girl who just went out was very worried. What was her matter? She is my sister. The doctor tells her, she is pregnant. You have to take great care of her. Hearing this, she gets very worried. This way, she will become Fu Yan's permanent wife. Fu Yan and Penny go to a product event, and Penny gives a presentation of the product. Fu Yan is very happy. He goes close to her and tells them, I can't wait to be your husband. Penny feels like vomiting. Just then, Ching is about to leave the party. Penny's sister stops her and slaps her and tells her, stay away from my sister Penny and my brother-in-law, Fu Yan. So she tells her, look at the event and see who is playing dirty tricks. She tells her, Penny is Sheng Mian. They are a couple and are also working with each other, and Penny is also pregnant, so stop dreaming of her husband. Hearing such a big secret, she is shocked. The next day, Ching comes to meet Mom and says, I have heard some rumors against your family. Sheng Mian is pregnant, and who knows whose child is in her womb because Fu Yan hates her. Who knows whose child it is now? Hearing this, Mom's temper gets high. Mom calls her assistant and has him confirm with Sheng Mian's doctor. The assistant calls them and tells them that Sheng Mian is indeed pregnant. Penny calls Fu Yan and tells him, I have to discuss some designs for the villa with you. So he tells her, you select the designs that you like. At this, she says, what if your wife doesn't like my designs? To which he says, you don't need to worry. Then she says, then my and Shengmian's tastes are quite similar. He says, don't talk about her. So she asks, have you and Shengmian had a misunderstanding? He says, she has trapped Grandpa in her web, which makes her very sad. Then Penny gets a call from Mom, who asks her to come to the hospital for her help. When she gets there, there is no hospital, but some man puts a handkerchief on her mouth and makes her unconscious and takes her away. When she regains consciousness, she is tied up. Just then, Mom comes there with 2 doctors and tells her, you have cheated my son. We have supported your family for so many years and you have deceived us. At this, she tries to tell them the whole truth, but Mom doesn't listen to her at all and tells the doctors to perform her abortion. Penny, crying, tells them, this baby is Fu Yan's. You can call him and confirm. Just then, Mom calls Fu Yan and tells him, Shengmian is pregnant, and she says this child is yours. So he says, I have never had sex with her. Just then, Mom tells the doctors to perform the abortion. They are about to give the injection when Liang arrives and says, I will call the police. Hearing this, the doctor and Mom leave. Actually, before going to meet Mom, Penny had called Liang and told him, and also said, I think they have not called me for help but to trap me. So if you can't contact me, then come after me. Fu Yan is waiting for Penny. When she arrives, he asks her, what have you done to yourself? I was worried about you. So she tells him, your wife is pregnant, and still, you are worried about me. So he says, don't talk about her. I have no relation with her. I have never had sex with her. So she says, stop humiliating me. He doesn't understand this. Then she tells him, you are not worthy of love. And she leaves from there. Penny texts Fu Yan and refuses to work with him. In anger, he throws the file. Just then, the assistant comes. Fu Yan tells him, terminate all the projects with Shengmian's father and also cut off Shengmian's contact with Grandpa. Shengmian's dad gets a call that all their projects have been terminated. He has a heart attack. He falls on the ground. Penny also comes there. Then she is sitting with her dad in the hospital. The doctor tells her, your father has a heart problem. If he is not operated on, his life is in danger. Penny starts to cry. Penny goes to her mom for money arrangements and tells them about Dad's condition because they had withdrawn all the money, but they refused to give the money. Then she comes to the hospital where Penny's father's lawyer is already present. He tells them, I don't know why he has named everything after his elder daughter. The lawyer tells her, don't worry, I am with you. Actually, these two like each other, and all these things are recorded in the camera installed in their room. On the other side, Penny calls Liang for money arrangements. Then she also tries to contact Grandpa, but she is unable to contact them, so she goes to their house at night to meet them. Mom meets her there. She tells them about her dad's condition, but they don't care at all and, scolding her, throw her out of the house. The next day, Penny calls Fu Yan and says, I need $1 million. He immediately says yes. He gets suspicious about such a large amount. He goes to her studio, but there he finds out that Penny is pregnant. He immediately goes to Liang and asks him, how long has it been since you had sex? He says, 6 months. When Penny comes to the hospital, her dad has already passed away. She holds the Fu family responsible for his death and decides that from today onwards, she will have no relation with them. Fu Yan meets Penny and, hugging her, says, I will take great care of this baby. So she says, that baby is not yours. He says, I know it's not Liang's baby either. So she says, how can you say that there is no third person between us? And she leaves from there. The lawyer comes to the house to read Penny's father's will, in which he had named everything after Mom and Penny's sister. Hearing this, she gets suspicious. Then from their words, she understands that these people are also asking her to leave the house. Just then, Penny comes to the villa to finish work. She faints. Fu Yan picks her up and takes her to the hospital. After being discharged from the hospital, Penny comes to meet Grandpa and also asks him to grant the divorce. Grandpa tells them, whatever happened to you is very bad. We have a holiday hotel. You go and stay there for a few days. Even after coming back from there, if your mind doesn't change, I will grant the divorce. Fu Yan comes to the holiday hotel and asks his assistant, who is such a special guest that I have been called here to greet? When he gets there, a table is decorated. He asks the assistant, do I also have to have a candlelight dinner with her? He senses something is fishy. He asks the assistant, tell me what it is. He tells him everything and says that she is in the room at this time. Fu Yan tells the assistant to bring the divorce papers and goes towards the room himself. When Fu Yan comes, Penny is in front of him. He understands that Penny is Shengmian, but Penny says, Shengmian called me here. Fu Yan heaves a sigh of relief. Fu Yan, speaking lovingly to her, hugs her. Grandpa calls Fu Yan and scolds him, I made such a good plan, but you are still thinking of divorcing her. Okay, the girl you love, bring her too. I want to meet her. Fu Yan brings Penny to meet Grandpa. Hearing Grandpa's voice, Penny hugs Fu Yan and hides her face. Grandpa angrily says, "What a shameless girl. You should have had some respect for me." Penny turns her face towards Grandpa. Grandpa is shocked. She says, "My name is Penny, and I am happy to meet you." She also gestures to Grandpa not to say anything in front of Fu Yan. Grandpa asks them about their future plans. Fu Yan says, "I want to marry her." Grandpa asked Penny. She says, "I also accept his proposal," upon which he gives his approval to both of them, and they are both very happy. Penny looks at her dad's picture and watches a video of herself and her dad on the laptop. Just then, a video from the hospital from that day comes up, in which Mom and the lawyer are making a plan. Just then, she understands that all the money was withdrawn from the bank by her mom, and Mom likes the lawyer, and the will must also be fake. Penny tells Grandpa everything and says, "I need to get some investigation done on my dad's company through your company because I suspect my mom." Grandpa asks Fu Yan to help Sheng Mian and tells him she suspects that all the money from her father's bank was taken by her stepmother. In this regard, she needs an investigation. If you help her, then I promise you that I will get you a divorce from her myself. Hearing this, he is happy. Grandpa tells him, "You love Penny, so you should also keep her with you in this work." Fu Yan meets Liang and asks him about his relationship with Penny, upon which he tells him the whole truth. Hearing this, Fu Yan gives him his credit card and tells him that its password is Penny's birthday. He is very happy. Penny reads her dad's company files and finds out where all his money has gone. Just then, Fu Yan comes there. He comes close to her and asks, "Is there something you are still hiding from me?" Penny is shocked and thinks her lie has been caught. Fu Yan asks, "Why did you lie to me?" She says, "I was afraid that you would stop liking me." Fu Yan says, "So you played such a big game?" She says, "That was not my intention." He cuts her off and kisses her. Fu Yan tells her, "I have found out that you two are not a real couple. If I hadn't found this out, when would you have told me?" She says, "Until you divorced Sheng Mian." He hugs her. Fu Yan and Penny come to the office to find some clues, and they find a pen drive there. Just then, they hear the lawyer's voice, and they both hide under the table. The lawyer is talking to Mom, saying that the money will be transferred to their overseas account. They both hear this. The next day, Fu Yan and Penny go to the same lawyer's house. They are shocked to see them. They tell him, "We know everything, and Mom is deceiving you." Then they show him papers on which Mom's signatures are there. When he sees it, he is shocked. Then he puts a knife to Penny's neck. Fu Yan doesn't panic, but acts wisely and tells them, "I don't care about her. Kill her right here." And seeing an opportunity, he pushes the lawyer's knife-wielding hand back and kicks the lawyer, making him fall, and hugs Penny. Then they both come home. The next day, Fu Yan gives Penny high-heeled sandals. Penny comes to her dad's company for the annual meeting. Just then, Liang comes there and drops some beads on the stairs. Penny slips on those beads and falls down. Liang and Penny's sister are happy to see her fall, and as soon as she falls, Penny's condition deteriorates. Her bleeding starts. Penny is brought to the hospital. The doctor says she needs immediate surgery and tells her sister, "Call someone from her family." She calls Fu Yan and tells him that, "My sister's condition is very bad, and she is in the hospital. She is asking for you." At this, he tells her, "There is only divorce between us, and I will not come." After the surgery, when Penny regains consciousness, her sister comes to her. She asks her, "Is my baby okay?" She tells her, "We couldn't save the baby." Penny starts crying thinking about this. Fu Yan goes to Sheng Mian's house. Her sister opens the door. He asks her, "Are you Sheng Mian?" She says, "I am her sister." He says, "Where is Sheng Mian?" and starts calling her name loudly. Just then, his sister calls Penny and puts her cell phone behind her so that she can hear everything. Fu Yan says, "No matter what, I will definitely divorce her." And saying this, he leaves from there. Penny gets a divorce notice from the court. Seeing this, she starts crying. Fu Yan is in court and is waiting for Sheng Mian. Just then, Penny comes and sits in front of him. To confirm, he asks, "Are you Sheng Mian?" She straightforwardly says yes. Then the court proceedings begin. Fu Yan stops it, but Penny doesn't stop. She says, "It has been 3 years. We have no relation." Fu Yan tells the judges, "I want to withdraw my case," and the trial is stopped right there. Fu Yan comes to Penny. She tells him, "Earlier you were in a hurry to get a divorce, so what happened now?" He tells her, "If I had known even a little that Penny is Sheng Mian, I would never have gotten a divorce." She says, "In these 3 years you didn't even look back at me. Because of you I was made fun of." So he says, "Think about our baby." At this, Penny tells him, "He is no more. What you said, that he is bad blood, I will not accept him." So Fu Yan, thinking about his mistakes, starts crying and says, "I made a very big mistake. Now I want to correct this mistake. I apologize for all my past behavior." But Penny says, "I don't want to hear anything. I want a divorce." And she leaves from there. Qing brings a gift for Mom, and Mom tells her, "I don't understand. He was ready to divorce Sheng Mian before, but now he is refusing." Ching puts her hand on her belly in front of them. Mom understands that she is pregnant. Mom is very happy. Ching says, please don't tell Fuyan this. I will tell him myself when the time is right. Mom calls Penny and tells her about Ching's pregnancy and also asks her to get a divorce. Penny congratulates them. Ching comes to the villa. Penny also comes. When they are talking to each other, Penny manages to get the truth out of her mouth. The baby in her belly is not Fuyan's. Then she puts the mobile to her ear and tells Mom, you must have heard the whole truth, because she had also taken Mom on the call. Mom, in anger, scolds Ching and says, you are a very cheap girl. You can never be my daughter-in-law. Seeing this, Ching starts to slap her, but Fuyan grabs her hand and tells her, how can you stoop so low? You have tried to trap Shengmian so many times. So she says, I was just helping you get a divorce. So he says, who told you that I am getting a divorce? And he hugs Penny in front of her. Ching tells the whole story of how she came to know this truth. Fuyan tries to pacify Penny, but Penny is angry with him. Penny's sister comes to her and tells her, you can't forgive Fuyan. Penny says, I can never forgive him. Hearing this, she is happy, but she shows in front of her as if she is worried about her. Fuyan gets very drunk and calls Penny. She tells him, you are very drunk, so just sleep quietly. Penny's sister hears this and tells her, please don't leave me alone. I am afraid of sleeping. Penny understands this trick, but she gets ready to sleep with her. When Penny falls asleep, she unlocks her mobile with her finger and messages Fuyan that she is coming, and he is sitting there waiting for her. When Penny's sister goes there, he hugs her without looking at her, but when he hears her voice, he pushes her away. Just then, Penny also arrives and slaps her sister hard, and her sister leaves from there. The next day, Mom announces Penny's sister as the CEO. Just then, Penny also arrives and exposes Mom and her sister in front of all the members and also shows the real will. Just then, Fuyan also comes there and, along with introducing himself, says, I am the biggest investor of this company. If you all are not accepting Penny as the CEO, then sell your shares. I will buy them at a high price. Just then, Penny's sister challenges Penny. If you can't add 20% to the company, you will have to leave the CEO's seat. Penny accepts the challenge. Zhao, who was Penny's first love, comes for an interview for the manager's seat. Seeing him, Penny is very happy, and seeing them happy, he is jealous. Zhao asks, who is this? Fuyan says, I am her husband. Zhao says, I am her classmate and first love. Actually, Zhao was called by Grandpa to help. Fuyan and Zhao talk to each other, and Fuyan offers him a drink. After drinking a little, he collapses right there. Fuyan's assistant comes and takes Zhao. Then he tells Penny, we have to go to Grandpa's house to meet him. Hearing Grandpa's name, she agrees. Then they both talk to Grandpa on a video call. Seeing them together, Grandpa is very happy. Then Penny is about to leave, but Fuyan stops her and says, I helped you so much. Can't you stay with me for one night? And then they go to the bedroom. Penny has to meet a client to think about a contract. When she goes to the factory, Ching's brother is there, who tells her, what you did to my sister was not good. When Fuyan calls Penny, her number is switched off. Then he calls Zhao, who tells him that he had to meet a client from an overseas company. On the other side, Ching's brother harasses Penny. Just then, Fuyan and Zhao arrive. Penny is relieved. Then, everyone comes home. Fuyan prepares dinner for Penny. After having dinner, Fuyan comes to Penny's bedroom. She asks him to go to his house, but he doesn't go, so Penny sprinkles perfume on him. The next day, Penny is sad. Zhao comes and tells her that the project with the overseas client has been finalized. Then he asks her why she's sad. She tells him her father's wish, my father wanted to do something for poor children. At this he says, you first focus on achieving your 20%. Then Penny gets a call from Grandpa who scolds her and asks, did you two have a fight? She tells them, no, there is nothing like that. Grandpa tells her, then why is Fuyan roaming around the world? Sometimes he is in Europe and sometimes in Canada. She says, maybe he has gone for an urgent meeting. Penny is sitting in her house thinking about all this. Where could Fuyan have gone? She says, I want to be separated from him. So why am I worried about him? Just then, the doorbell rings. There is a box outside the door. Just then, Fuyan also arrives. When she opens the box, there is a fabric in it. It is the same fabric she had mentioned to Zhao. She is very happy and holds the cloth from one side. From the other side, Fuyan pulls the cloth and pulls her towards him. Then, they both start to romance. Just then, Penny stops him and says, I have an important meeting tomorrow. He leaves her right there and goes. The next day, there is a meeting in which Penny says that she has bought fabric with some money to fulfill her dad's wish. At this, her sister gets angry at her and says, this way, the 20% will not be completed, and you should not stay in the company. Just then, Fuyan comes and throws a file in front of her and says, this is a gift from my side to this company. I have bought and given that cloth. Shengmian can do whatever she wants with it. Seeing his support, Penny's sister is jealous. Fuyan gets a voice note from Grandpa in which he scolds Fuyan You are roaming the whole world and I don't even know. Fu Yan tells Penny, will you come with me to meet Grandpa? She says yes. When they both come to meet Grandpa, Zhao is already there. Grandpa tells them, Zhao is telling me stories about him and Penny. Fu Yan, feeling jealous, says, I also want to hear funny stories about my wife. Zhao, to make him jealous, also says, yes, we have many sweet memories from our school life. And he tells Penny, tonight is the class reunion party, so will you come? Fu Yan immediately grabs Penny's hand and says, she is not going anywhere. Zhao says, you have no right to stop her. Seeing the situation getting worse, Penny herself says, I am not going anywhere. Tonight I will stay with Grandpa. Penny talks a lot with Grandpa. Just then, Fu Yan also comes there, and the three of them talk together. On the other side, Zhao reaches the party and Penny's sister arrives. He ignores her, but she tells him, if you support me, I can separate Penny and Fu Yan. Then Fu Yan gives Penny coffee. She says, why are you taking such good care of me? He tells her, just as Eve was a part of Adam, you are also a part of me. She says, I don't want coffee, give me simple water. Fu Yan gives her simple water with a straw in it. As she is about to drink, he puts an extra straw in the same glass and starts drinking with her. Zhao comes to the office and gets quite jealous seeing them so close. Then he tells Penny, the fabric you ordered, come and see it. When Penny is about to go, she asks Fu Yan, won't you come? He says, no, you go. I am waiting for you here. Then he starts drinking water from the same glass. Penny's sister comes to the office. Fu Yan places the glass on the table and turns his chair. Seeing an opportunity, she puts a tablet in his glass. Fu Yan's health starts to deteriorate. Seeing an opportunity, she comes close to him and says, as soon as everyone sees these pictures, I will become the owner of this company. Zhao takes their pictures. When the board members see those pictures, they are very surprised. Penny also sees those pictures. Fu Yan gives her his explanation. Penny's sister says, to solve this problem, I will have to become the CEO. But Zhao didn't want this, so he plays her recording on his mobile in front of everyone, in which she was planning to trap Fu Yan and Penny. She is shocked to see this. Just then, Fu Yan announces in front of everyone, I am naming my entire company and property after Shengmian. Whether we stay together or get divorced, this will still be in Shengmian's name. Penny stops him from doing this, but he says, I love you very much and I can do anything for you. Seeing all this, Penny's sister gets very angry and starts scolding Zhao, you are so useless. You can't do anything. Then Penny suspends her sister from the company and she leaves from there in anger. Fu Yan tells Zhao, you did a very good job. Actually, Zhao had already told Fu Yan the whole plan. Penny's sister wants to separate them and has made a deal with me that if you support me, you will get Shengmian. Fu Yan and Zhao together have exposed her. Fu Yan tells Zhao, you love Shengmian and want to be with her, so why are you supporting me? He says, Penny loves you, so I don't want to be with her forcefully. That's why she is happy with you. Here, Penny is going somewhere. She passes by a building and a bag is falling on her. Fu Yan comes to her aid and pushes her away from the front, and the bag hits Fu Yan on the head. They are plumber bags. Because of them, Fu Yan becomes unconscious. Fu Yan is brought to the hospital. When he regains consciousness, he acts in front of Penny so that she will stay with him. Penny is taking great care of him. Then she tells him, you come with me to my house. He comes to her house. Penny takes great care of him. He tells her, you sleep in my bedroom. She says, I am fine here. Penny falls asleep on the sofa. He comes to her and puts a blanket on her. She gets up and goes to his bedroom. In the morning, when her eyes open, Fu Yan is lying close to her. Penny gets up and is about to leave, but he grabs her hand and starts to romance her. Then Penny comes out and, feeling shy, puts her hand on her belly. Penny thinks about the past when her condition was very bad. The doctor tells her that her condition is very bad, so she should call someone from her family or just give them her thumbprint. The doctor saves her baby, but she forbids them from telling anyone. In front of everyone, she shows that the baby is no more. Now she is thinking that she will tell Fu Yan, because all his rivals have come out. In the next scene, Fu Yan calls Penny's sister and gives her a file. It is a file for transferring shares. She refuses. Fu Yan tells her, I know that you threw the plumber bag on Shengmian. She starts to deny it. Fu Yan says, that plumber is right here. She sits at Fu Yan's feet and starts to apologize. Fu Yan tells her to sign. He says, either sign this file or prepare to go to jail. On the other side, Zhao tells Penny that their business is running very well. Just then, Penny feels like vomiting. Zhao gives her a tissue and asks, are you pregnant? She says, yes. Zhao asks, does Fu Yan know? She says, he knew before, but some people wanted to kill our baby, so I hid this from him. He says, Fu Yan is very good. He has done a lot for you. Just then, Penny feels like vomiting, so Zhao holds her and takes her to the hospital. Fu Yan sees them going and, in anger, throws the flowers he had for Penny on the ground. In the next scene, the doctor tells Penny, your baby's condition is not good. You should get an abortion. Penny comes out sad. Zhao asks her. She says, the doctor said that we can't save the baby. They both leave from there. Just then, the doctor comes out with a file, calling Penny's name. Fuyan arrives. He tells them, I am her husband. What is the matter? You can give me this file. She tells him, this is their abortion file. Hearing this, the doubt that was growing in his mind turns into certainty. Fuyan calls Penny and asks, where are you? She says, I am in the office. While talking, he comes in front of her and says, why are you lying? Penny tells him, I will go home and tell you everything. I had a headache, so I came to get medicine. He says, you came here to get abortion medicine. Hearing this, she is shocked. Penny starts to tell Fuyan, but Fuyan says, I am already in shock after hearing about your fake identity and fake marriage. Now you tell me the whole truth. So she says, the truth is that we are getting a divorce today. And she leaves from there. Fuyan's heart is broken once again. Penny doesn't want to leave him. She goes to his house to meet him. His assistant tells her, Mr. Fu will not be able to meet you, so please sign the divorce papers. Penny opens the file to sign. On the first page, it is written, Sheng Mian, you cannot divorce me. She comes towards the room. Zhao comes in front of her and tells them, don't worry, I have told Fuyan everything. The misunderstanding is clear. And then he gives her flowers and says, go and take your happiness. When she goes further, she meets Mom. She gives her flowers and says, you are a good girl. I have learned the whole truth. I will not come in the way of your happiness. And she gives her flowers. Then she meets Grandpa. Giving her flowers, he says, my blessings are with you both. Always be happy. Then Penny meets Liang, who, while giving her best wishes, gives her a flower and says, you two have struggled a lot. When she comes into the room, she sees some pictures of herself and Fuyan hanging on the wall. Just then, Fuyan also arrives and tells her, before meeting you, I was very cold. No one could shake my emotions. But after meeting you, my heart and mind are not in my control. Your love has given me many positive changes. Our baby also knows our love and will not leave us. Then he kneels down and gives Penny a diamond ring and asks, will you spend your whole life with me? Penny happily says yes, and this is the happy ending of the drama.